Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Claudia, a wife, mom, and a full-time teacher. I have been documenting my journey on the medication semaglutide and I have lost over 60 pounds. And my mission is to keep it off. So I wanted to share today some tips, some things that I wish I would have known before I got on the medication, and some things that I learned while I was on the medication. When I first started the medication semaglutide, there were a few things that I was kind of aware of by doing some research, but like a lot of people say, you really don't know things until you can experience it for yourself. So I wanted to share with you all some tips and some things that I learned while I was on this journey, so that way it can help you in your journey. Tip number one is, it's not a magic pill. You won't lose the weight overnight. And for me, I started the medication on a very low dose. I probably stayed on a low dose of like a 0.25, 0.50 for about 6 months. No, about 5 months. About 5 months. I was on the low dose for about 5 months. And I lost 25 pounds doing that. So I wanted the process to be slow for myself, but I know sometimes people will think once you take it, you're just gonna lose the weight. And that's not really how it works. Semaglutide helps, but you still have to develop those healthy habits to help you change that lifestyle, because you want this to be a long-term success without the medication. So you have to develop those healthier habits in the process. Tip 2 is to expect side effects. For me, I did not have many side effects. My side effects were very minimal. I already suffer from constipation, so that was not, I would say it wasn't a true side effect for me, but it made my constipation worse. I did not experience fatigue very much. Some people say they experienced that. The only time that I was the only time that I experienced nausea was if I ate something that I shouldn't have ate, or if I overate. Some side effects can be very minimal, like mine, and then some can be more intense. Everyone's body reacts differently to the medication. This is a disclaimer. I'm no medical professional. I'm just sharing my experience with you all so that way it can help you on your journey. Tip 3 is to take your shot at night. I think that may be the reason why I didn't experience some of the side effects as far as being nauseous or things like that. But it just helped me be able to take the shot before I went to bed so I could sleep through. And if it was any side effects that I would experience, it would be majority of the time I'd be asleep. That would be a tip for me, especially if your body does not react well to medication. Tip 4 is to be careful of what you eat right after you take the shot. I know a couple times that I took the shot, like if I went to the clinic and took it, it was during the daytime, but it wasn't very often that I went to the clinic. But if I did, I noticed if I ate something a little bit heavier, or if I ate something sweet, it did affect my body differently versus me taking it at night. So be careful, making sure that you don't eat heavy meals after you take it. If you do take it in the daytime, because it will make you feel uncomfortable. So make sure you eat something a little bit smaller, lighter, something a little bit better that will help, that will kind of work with your body a little bit better. Tip 5 is to hydrate. Hydrate. I am not one who drinks water a lot. Water does not taste bad to me. I just let the busyness of life take over, and I do not drink enough water. So I have it even right here. Like, I got my water. And just being mindful to drink your water, because you do feel fuller with the medication. And so when you drink the water, it makes you feel even more full. So you just gotta try to get it done. I think one of the things that did help me is drinking it more in the morning. Because when my day starts, I'm like moving around and I'm not drinking it as much. But hydrate. It will probably help with my digestive system, all that constipation that I'm experiencing. That helps. That will support your overall health and may help that actual side effect if you have constipation. And I think that's where they kind of bump heads, you would say, is because if you are experiencing constipation, but then you're not hydrating because you feel full all the time or more often than less, then that's probably where the constipation comes in. And of course, talk to your doctor if you need some medication to help you with the constipation. I would just talk to my doctor if that's something that you feel like it's not getting better, even if you are drinking the water. Matter of fact, I'm about to take a sip. Woo! Good and cold. So, tip 6. Let me get back on track. Tip 6, don't skip meals. This is something that I have learned through the process is because the medication suppresses your appetite. So your body does not feel like it's hungry, but you still need to fuel your body with the nutrients that they need. So just try to eat something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit balanced with your, protein and things like that, because you do need to fuel your body. I know I can say a few times over this year and a half, you get, I don't want to say lightheaded or weak, but I don't know another word to use. Like if I don't eat as much because of the medication and I try to go to the gym, I can't overload because I don't feel like that fuel in my body. I don't feel it. So just make sure you try not to skip meals. Like I said, eat something smaller that will kind of help you maintain. Even if you're not hungry, just try to eat something a little bit light. The tip 7 is support your body. And this can be by taking your vitamins, making sure that you get all those nutrients in, exercise. This is a way that will really help our body. When you're taking the medication, you do lose some muscle mass. Like I said, check with your doctor, make sure that they are giving you some education on this medication. And I noticed like a lot of flab, not so much of, flab, but I don't have like a toning anymore. So I was like, what's going on? And I remember talking to my doctor and they were letting me know, of course, you walking, doing your cardio, that's great, but you have to start doing some strength training and some muscle, doing something to kind of build your muscle. And of course, if you're over 40 like I am, and that's, the moms and the women who are over 40, we need to build that up anyway so that we can help support our overall health. Tip 8 is to track your journey. This is something that I have learned. I try to go back and see what's going on. I tracked a lot of my journey on my phone, and that's great if you're a digital person. Sometimes people don't like to document and write things down. So I did a lot of my checking my weight, taking pictures and videos of my food, how my week went. I did a lot of tracking that digitally on my phone. But if you want to do it on paper or in a journal, I would suggest doing that because it will help you to see how each week goes. Maybe I need to change up my meals. Maybe I need to, drink more water that week. I didn't get in my exercise like I need to. Just track something so you can kind of go back and reflect on how each week goes so you can see how the process is going for you. It also helps you stay accountable and make sure you can see your progress. The last tip 9, is do not compare yourself. Y'all, I know I did this so many times on social media. You're looking at somebody else's journey and you're like, what's going on with me? Like, why am I not looking like this? Or why am I not experiencing what they're experiencing? Everybody's pace is different. Like I said, for me, 5 months, I started off really slow. Some people, they will, 2-3 weeks, they'll start off with a low dose and then they change it after like a 3-week, 4-week period. I took a little slower route just because I wanted, like I said, the process to go slow. I wasn't, in a rush. I was kind of nervous anyway. So everybody's process is different. Focus on your own journey, not someone else's. Don't, feel free, just like what I'm sharing, you can listen to other people's tips or some of their opinion or advice, but you just, don't compare your journey to someone else's. Currently, I'm not taking the medication. I haven't been back on since the end of June. And I probably will get back on in the next few weeks. I'm really trying to decide if I'm going to do September, October, but I'm doing well right now. I weighed myself this morning and I am at 173. So I will take that. I am back down. I have lost those 6 pounds. Well, I've lost 5 now because I'm back up a pound, but I will take that. If you are on a weight loss journey, either on the medication semaglutide or not on the medication semaglutide, please let me know in the comments. I would love to see how your journey is going. I shared in a previous video that I am not currently taking the medication. I probably will start sometime in September. I want to kind of just give my body a break. I have not been on the medication since the end of June. And before that, I had stopped in January. So I took a break from January up until May. I got back on it for about 2 months, and then I haven't been back on it since the end of June. So that's kind of my journey. I just kind of don't want to, I feel like I'm going up and down on the medication. So that's why I was like, okay, let me just take about a 2-month break and let's reset, get back focused. So that's where I am. Anyway, if you have not already, like and subscribe so you can, follow along on my journey and see how things are going. And I will see you all in the next video. Y'all take care.